Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. We start this morning with Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, who joins us from New Orleans. Welcome, Governor. I want to get to the 10th anniversary of Katrina in a moment, but first the political news. This new poll, the Des Moines Register poll, Donald Trump is at the top in Iowa. I want to ask you, there was a period at which people in the Republican Party thought he was kind of a flash in the pan, a kind of summer fling. That doesn't look like it's the case anymore. It looks like he might, or he has the possibility at least, to be the nominee. I know you want to be the nominee yourself, but do you think it's possible that he could be?
John, well, good morning. Thank you for having me. Look, I think as the voters get serious, as we get past these summer months, they're going to start asking the question, who can actually do this job? Who has the intelligence, who has the courage, who has the experience? I think when that happens, we're going to do very well. I'll give you one example. I'm the only candidate, there's not two, I'm the only candidate that has actually reduced government spending. And I think a big issue in this election is reducing the size of government, growing the American economy. What I see in the polls is that nobody has any votes right now. I think the voters in Iowa, these early states, they want to kick the tires, ask the tough questions. They're not going to decide until much later in this process.
You're talking about your competence that's gained over years of experience working in government, but it looks like in these polls consistently that what we're hearing from voters is they don't want anybody who's touched government. They don't want politicians.
John, I think that's exactly right. I think one of the reasons that Trump has done well is he has hit a nerve. What I get from voters in Iowa, we're doing this 99 county tour, is that voters are telling me they're frustrated, not just with President Obama and the Democrats, they're frustrated with the Republicans as well. Republicans told them, give us the majority, we'll get rid of Obamacare, we'll get rid of amnesty, and that didn't happen. The difference is I've done what I said I was going to do. We've cut our state budget 26%, 30,000 fewer state bureaucrats, top 10 state for private sector job creation. I think voters are looking for a candidate with a backbone and experience to fight for them. They want term limits. They want an end to the permanent political class that thinks they are better and different from the voters. It's one of the reasons I think Hillary Clinton's having so many troubles of her own. She thinks she's different and better than the voters. Voters are done with that.
Let me ask you a question about immigration, a topic that's much in conversation among Republicans. We know all Republican candidates want to secure the border, but after that, there's the question of what to do with the undocumented workers who are in the United States. You said on CNN recently, you said, I think the American people will be pragmatic and compassionate about the people here. What does that mean about the 11 million, 12 million undocumented workers who are here now?
Well, John, a couple of things. I think the reason voters don't want a comprehensive approach, a gang of eight approach, is we tried that in the 80s. We were told, deal with it comprehensively, and we would get a secure border. That didn't happen. That's why I think it's right to sequence these things, secure the border first, and then we can have the discussion about the folks that are here. But the bottom line is this: a smart immigration policy makes our country stronger. We need to insist people that want to come to our country should come legally, should learn English, should adopt our values, roll up their sleeves, and get to work. One of the things I've been emphasizing as the son of immigrants who came here legally, we need to insist on assimilation. You know, in Europe, they're not doing that. They've got huge problems. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. That can weaken our country. We don't need to go down the path of Europe. Let's insist on being the melting pot. Let's forget this politically correct left notion that we're not a melting pot anymore.
But you said you want a compassionate treatment of the illegal immigrants here now. So is deportation, which is the Donald Trump plan, would you say that's compassionate?
Well, look, like I said, secure the border first, put an end to the sanctuary cities. I've said hold the mayors and councilmen, hold them criminally liable for the crimes committed by people that shouldn't be here illegally in the first place. After we have done that, and it'll only take 6 months to secure the border. I know the left says we can't get it done. That's ridiculous. If we're serious about this, it won't be perfect, but we can get this done in 6 months. Then we can have the conversation about folks that are here illegally.
Let's switch to the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Is Louisiana in a position to handle this if it were to happen again?
John, well, a couple of things. One, I want to say that we are resilient people in New Orleans, in Louisiana. Hurricanes Katrina and Rita knocked us to our knees. We got back on our feet. Secondly, this is a generous country. Americans love each other. I want to thank folks from all 49 other states came into our state, continue to come here to help us rebuild. In terms of are we ready? We're absolutely better prepared than ever before. Stronger levees, but more importantly, people have a game plan. We've got facilities with generators, with fuel. We've got healthcare facilities that know how to evacuate ahead of time, but we mustn't become complacent. More work needs to be done on coastal restoration. We've got a bipartisan plan to do that, a multi-year plan. We've invested record amounts at the state level. We'll continue to work on that. We are better prepared than ever before. What we say every hurricane season is pray for the best, prepare for the worst. That's what we've done in South Louisiana.
Finally, quickly, Governor, you've seen this from the governor's perspective. You're also thinking about the presidency. What would you have done differently than President George W. Bush did?
John, there were several failures at every level of government, federal, state, and local. There's no point in looking back. We need to be looking forward. And I want to emphasize this. The American people can do anything. And we have seen that here in Louisiana. Church groups, civic groups, school groups have come down here. They didn't wait for permission. They came here to help. Large companies, small companies sent supplies when the bureaucracy wasn't working. We called up Ford Motor Company. They donated trucks to help sheriffs and first responders. Let's focus on moving forward. 10 years, a lot of progress has happened in our schools and healthcare system. More work needs to be done, but we've come a long way.
All right.
And I want to thank the generosity of the
right.
American people.
Governor Jindal, thanks so much for being with us.